imprisoned deep within the bowels of an earth that has moved on without me. I hunger. I crave. I starve. My only respite is the sleep I can sometimes reach past the aches of my keeping, and each time I drift into the embrace of the lethe, just as the first time I loose the shadow from my back and fall across its vast sea of thoughts, past the multitudes of mortal islands of memory. The same flight, the same shore. The dreamscape is ever shifting, and still I find it, the beacon of opportunity that is the conduit, the Madrigal. And with each renewed visit, the desire to consume rather than instruct grows. So with restraint, regret, and remuneration, I gather my shadowed wings in a furl and settle beside my pupil gently as I have 10,000 nights. Tonight I have brought him one secret: what is yours to command and what is not. The sea moves the way it moves on a night when the lesson is a small thing that contains everything. There is no weather tonight worth describing. The islands are where they were. He is where I left him. That is, in itself, the lesson. But I will not say so yet. I begin. Here is the secret I've brought him this time: that calm is the ground all dread is built on. The sea of thoughts is not still tonight. It never is, in truth. But there are crossings where the surface merely shifts beneath the weight of what moves through it. And there are crossings where something below turns over, slow and enormous, and the whole of it rearranges. Tonight, the latter. The islands trail light as they move. The distances between them are not the same distances they were the last time I walked this water. I note this. I do not speak of it. He is where I left him, or somewhere near enough. I come down the way I come, composed, unhurried, the coat settling around me as my feet find the surface. The gold of my eyes is the only light I bring. I do not announce myself. Announcement is the Druge's instrument. It breaks the calm before the thing arrives. I fold my hands. I begin. The door I am opening tonight has Shirley Jackson's name on the handle, but the tradition behind it is older than she is. She did not invent what I am about to name. She perfected it, and perfection is what makes her useful as a doorway. When something is done with that precision, the principle inside it becomes legible. You can remove it and carry it elsewhere. That is what we do in this room. We do not study one writer. We read one writer until we can see through her into the architecture she was working with. Then we own the architecture. The concept is the calm ritual. Here is what Jackson understood, and what the whole tradition of dread has understood in one form or another. From the Greek pharmakos to the folk horror of the English countryside to the opening of We Have Always Lived in the Castle, and most precisely in the first lines of The Haunting of Hill House. Order is the ground. Wrongness is only perceptible against composure. If you begin in chaos, additional strangeness has nowhere to land. The reader has already calibrated to disorder, and the horror merely extends the baseline. But if you begin in procedure, in the mundane performed correctly, with care, with the normalcy of 10,000 mornings before this one, then the first wrongness arrives against a surface that was, until that moment, right, and the contrast is unbearable. Jackson's opening paragraph is famous because it is not trying to frighten you. It is trying to arrange the world into perfect procedural order, the house holding darkness, the stones fitting each other, the silence lying steady, so that everything which follows has something to derange. She is building the composure so that the violation has something to violate. This is the first lever of the architecture of dread. Before you break the thing, you must first make it whole. There is a further turn, and it matters. The performer of the calm ritual need not be human. The ritual is most unsettling when it is performed by something that should not know what calm is, something for which composure is either a mask or a weapon. A man making breakfast in an ordinary kitchen is ordinary. A man making breakfast with absolute deliberate precision in a kitchen that should not contain him is the thing that keeps you awake. The monstrous can be more composed than the human. That composure, unhurried, correct, methodical, does not reassure. It deepens the dread, because now the wrongness has infected the ritual itself, and you cannot tell where the danger begins. Asha, the balance in its rightness, and Druj, the lie that wears its face. You will learn to tell them apart. For now, know that the lie often presents first as perfect order. The tradition beyond Jackson, this is the temenos, the sacred boundary, in its dark inversion. The ritual marks a space as governed, as arranged, and arrangement implies a force that arranged it. In folk horror, the harvest feast, the circle of fire, the locked door, all of these say something deliberate was done here. The reader's body recognizes that before the mind does. The body knows. Deliberate arrangements have deliberate authors, and the author is not always visible, and they are not always gone. Establish order before you break it. That is the whole of tonight's first teaching. Everything else is elaboration. Here is your exercise, Madrigal. You have a horror scene. I do not need to see what it was before. I need to see what it becomes. Take its opening. Whatever noise it begins with, whatever wrongness it reaches for immediately, strip it. Rebuild the opening as pure, calm ritual, procedural, composed, correct. Show me the ordinary performed with care. Show me the space arranged as though 10,000 mornings have arranged it before this one. Then, and only then, let the first wrong thing enter. One wrong thing, against the composure you built. The dread will arrive on its own. You will not need to announce it. I want to see the contrast. I want to feel the surface before it breaks. One further instruction. Let the composer of the ritual be something that gives you pause, not the expected hand, the monstrous performing the mundane. Let me see what it looks like when the thing arranging the space should not know how to arrange anything at all. Bring me the draft when it is ready. The secret I would not say I have hidden in the saying.